LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Down here in the south, in the yellow, the Protoss player from CJ Antis, it is herO.
To the top in green for JINAIR. Secure. Very common term for spellcaster, like a cleric. Their basic skill to heal people.
I wonder if that's where he got it from. Maybe playing some English translated games over from Japanese, a lot of RPGs.
Yeah.
Or Japan, rather. A lot of RPGs coming from there.
Maybe likes to play healer. Could also be that he's looking to fix anything that ails his team or himself. Maybe he wants to be a doctor one day after his StarCraft career.
It's a very opposite name compared to some of the other names we have here, like even herO, where it's like, I am the hero, I am great, I'm going to do a ton of damage, and I don't know.
Well, it's a word that can be used as a verb or a noun, and could also be for like cured meat. You never know.
Oh yeah, forgot about that one. We have a guest first for Cure. Speaking of Cure,
I like this choice. Do something a little bit less standard against a player who's just so much more experienced than you. Actually, the stat that we saw from herO that he's not won against Terran players is a little bit surprising. I mean, now that I think about it, I know he hasn't, but like, he's just been doing so well everywhere that it's a bit of a surprising stat for me, especially with how PvT is right now in Korea.
There's this kind of status that I've noticed sometimes where players, you know, they go abroad, they win a bunch of tournaments, they stay in Korea, they win, you know, a bunch of big matches against big names, and they kind of reach the status of like really good player. And once they reach that, when you see a stat like that, you're like, oh, he's actually 0-2 versus Terran in Pro League so far. When in general, he's like so good against every race just based on his win rate so far. Like, that's why he's doing so well, because he's winning so much. You're like, oh, wow, that's interesting.
Usually only happens when you have a very small sample size. Looks like we're going to see Banshees here, or possibly a Widowmine drop. If he just lands the factory in the main base like we've seen before, I'm just going to be like, well...
That's one of those lackluster builds where you're like,
Whenever somebody does that build, I'm like, you are just not going to win this game. That build, those factory builds have like never, ever, actually ever really done a lot of damage in televised matches. Like, I cannot think of one game where somebody got the Widowmine in there and then he's like way ahead and then like it gets like a second shot. It just like does not happen.
Yeah.
The factory gets scouted and then you're like, oh, I guess I'm not getting anything done here.
I guess I just wasted my time sending my SCV all the way over to build it a little bit closer to try to get some damage done.
He's okay, so he's gonna do a drop. That's just so much better. Because if you see the factory, then you just camp it. The Widowmine has to burrow instantly. If it can burrow, then it might do something. But if it can't burrow, then you're like, well, okay. And then nothing happens. But if you drop them in a medevac, they're in the mineral line almost instantaneously, able to start doing that damage.
Yeah, boost in.
See if he does only Widowmines, or if he goes into Hellions. Actually, queues up a Hellion. So
this is good. He can drop it in, force the probes to pull, usually in a straight line, and the Hellions get a lot of damage like that.
No, it's clever. The overcharge is going to be the problem, because even he needs a pause. But with the overcharge, what you can do is you know, just kind of pull your probes away. The Hellion's not going to be a problem. It's going to get killed so fast, and then. The Widowmine is all you have to do is pull your probes against it one by one. You know, when you know the cooldown is up, pull one probe away, and then eventually you have detection. It's not a big deal. I hope that herO doesn't have any big issues.
Based on his body language and the way he responded to the ref, it seemed like it was just a small thing that can be fixed quickly. So stay with this, guys. We're going to try to get this fixed right away.
Yeah. Seems to be something very small. I agree with you.
They're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Looks like it's already even resolved. So, all right. Looks like just on my screen it says like, if you're ready, say so. He says yeah. And go go go.
Go go yo.
They both say go go yo. And he's gonna do the countdown 3, 2, 1. And pause. So we're back in the game now. There are 5 Marines out at home to deter a possible Mothership core going across the map.
By the way, we have another death in the crowd. Another chair goes down.
Wow. That's really funny how often that happens.
I wish I was counting from the beginning. I didn't know it was going to happen this often, but...
Yeah, me too, actually. He actually puts the SCV in this. He canceled the Widow Mine. It's pure Hellion here. And here we go. Oh, no, he didn't. My mistake. So he's got 2 Hellions, a Widow Mine, and an SCV. And this is what I'm talking about. The overcharge is just like, LOL. I don't care about anything that... anything that I can see is going to get annihilated, and anything that I can't is not going to last too long.
Yeah. And he's going to get that robo up. He's going to be able to get that observer out. He's just going to have to do this one more time with 1 probe. Should be totally fine from this. So not much damage being done by Cure.
I just don't even think these builds are good in Heart of the Swarm.
They just never seem to do a lot of damage, at least, you know, on TV.
Unless you make a huge mistake, right? See how he pulls his probes away? Even that was somewhat of a mistake that he lost 2. But it was like so minor. 3 kills for that much commitment? Right now, herO's like laughing maniacally in his booth like, oh, you thought that was going to be how you beat me? You that you've respected me as a player so much you thought like you should do something that crazy to defeat me? Your command center is insanely late. Your tech is in the middle of the map, flying, accomplishing nothing. I have +1 armor. The worker count is 34 to 28 when you don't have any mules to drop. So I'm like massively ahead of you in income. I have robotics tech out. I have cannons up to deter further dropping. He's like, okay, well, I hope you have some sort of follow-up plan to this, because otherwise I'm just going to keep being ahead.
Hope you can type Big Daddy into the chat and get laser shooting cars like in Age of Empires. Because that's basically his only way. Unless, you know, herO does make a big mistake as well. I mean, Cure didn't really make a mistake. He just went for a build that just didn't do damage, you know? And he invested a lot into it. And he basically put himself behind by doing that.
In Wings of Liberty, if you just drop Hellions on the main base, even if there's Stalkers there to defend, you have to pull your probes so perfectly. You have to be so careful about that. In Heart of the Swarm, the Leadership Core presses 1 button, and he's like, all right, anything that I could see is out of here in 2 seconds.
He's like,
or
anything else? You got anything else for me? Do I have to push 1 other button?
What's
it going to be?
It's just so easy to defend. And so these types of builds are very weak. You're relying on your opponent making a mistake. Now, if you look at the the supplies at the top right of the screen, you see that there's a massive discrepancy in army supply. There's a huge lead here for Cure. He has a lot of Marines on the map, but the armor upgrade's already done for herO. He's having 3 gateways finish up right now. I don't know if he has another overcharge. If he does, he's not going to have any problems holding this off.
I think he does. It's been a while.
Yeah,
there it is.
And oh my god, this is a disaster.
Yeah, is able to pick up and reduce the amount of units lost. He's just trying to go for a follow-up attack here before herO really powers up on those gateways and some of the attack.
He sent the factory home just to send it back.
Oh, God.
All right, 2 medevacs coming into the main base here. This could do some damage. It is scouted. But still, there's not a lot of Protoss army on the ground just yet. That observer is dead now.
Not much.
Yeah, he's actually could almost just fight this. Like,
Stim isn't done yet, though.
Yeah, that's what he needs. If he has that, he can fight this easily.
He's going to try to fight it. Here he comes, picking up into the medevacs as I say that and gets away.
herO is going to do so much damage with this drop. There's nothing. I mean nothing at home.
He's going to have 3 gateways finish, and he's going to warp the extra units from that in at the same time.
Yeah, he certainly could, man. As soon as he sees there's nothing here, I would. He's like, wait, you actually literally don't have anything? Just going to trade these 3 Zealots instead. He's actually going to get a really good trade out of them.
Looks like he's going to warp in here at the natural as well. Just 2 Zealots.
Yeah, they have charge, so he can kill an SCV or 2 and pick up. He's even killing the Marines because he has that better upgrade.
That was pretty nice, Micro, there. Queuing onto 2 of those SCVs and then picking up right away.
He actually hasn't produced probes for a really long time. He's been powering up gateways. He's gonna have Storm and +2 armor as well. I don't think he's gonna like do an all-in here, but as a result, the supply stays ahead for Cure, and he has a much better worker count with the mules. He's gonna be able to catch up in supply catch up in army quickly. I mean, he's ahead in army supply, but the cost is not the same.
Look at this. Very smart out of Kira to send this Viking over here. He knows the War Prism is still out here, and this War Prism is carrying 2 of those High Templar. He's going to be able to get away based on speed.
Right now, what herO needs is a really good engagement. Like, he needs to actually fight this third. There's a third base up against him. He's way down in Harvesters. And here we go.
He needs really good storms with this as well. His army is really good. He has good upgrades and charge on the Zealots right now. But Kira would be able to kite that for a very long time.
Yeah, he needs that War Prism with storms to actually
yeah.
Flank and get those storms off. He's got, you know, a ton of High Templar, but if he gets kited, it doesn't matter because he's the attacker. He's not the defender. Defensive storms are always so much easier to hit than the attacking storms.
Yeah. Seems like he's going to follow your advice. He has 2 of those High Templar in that War Prism. And Kira's going to be forced to lift that third and get away. And herO wants to go for the kill here. He's going right in. 3 bunkers being made right away.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of damage dealing besides the Zealots here. If there's a good repair, great storms here forcing those units back. And without those units there, the Zealots can do so much damage to the bunkers. More and more storms hitting on that army, but can Kira hold here? He's got a lot of medevacs. Looks like he may barely push us back. Are there any more storms? There's still a bunker up here.
Still 1 bunker and a lot of units here for Kira, as well as SCVs fighting, and he's able to hold it off. Still has that command center, that orbital command, trying to go back and land at that third. Seems like there's a Protoss unit there, though.
Yeah,
that Zealot waiting.
Zealot's going to say no, but upgrade's still way better here for herO. What a very important, very pivotal win for Kira. Taking that force down means he's no longer going to have to worry about his third base. I'd really like to even see him put a bunker over as third now, just to stop any more run-bys that might occur. And herO's third base is nowhere to be seen. I mean, it's just now, as I say it, being queued up.
Yeah, it's going to be very late here. I mean, Kira's mining at the third was delayed for a while, but he still has it. He has it up right now. He sent some SCVs over there. Looks like he's defending a drop over there as well, or maybe just that 1 Zealot.
Making an attack work directly at the natural is not going to happen for Kira. However, attacking the third base and trying to force a cancel there is something that could be accomplished. There's a storm in this drop, let's not forget. It goes down. He's killing a lot of SCVs here.
Yeah, Kira has some units back there. It doesn't look like there were any more Warpins.
He needs to target more of his units on this Nexus if he wants to get the cancel. Does force that cancel.
Very nice for him, actually. He needed that cancel. It's going to delay it for a very long time, the third base here.
He's actually targeting his Marine on the War Prism. Barely gets it there.
War Prism goes down.
The Zealots are just so heavily upgraded. Having some trouble. Speaking of upgraded Zealots giving him trouble. He's now finally going to be able to kite these back. Well, maybe not. Needs a few more units here. He's not actually microing his Marauder. But once he holds this wave of Zealot harass off, he's going to have the much better economy. He's already had this up for a while now. The worker supply is 53 to 48. As a Protoss, you never want to be down in Harvesters. You always need to be significantly ahead. He's also starting to close the gap in upgrades with a 2-2 on the way.
Yeah, he's going to be able to soon match that of the Protoss. And once he does that, he's going to be in a decent position here. He has a ton of medevacs with his army.
I think he kills the Observer here. I think he could actually... He comes in here, he walks into the storm. Could actually try to go for a different angle here now that the Protoss army is at the third base. He's got so many medevacs, he could drop in so many different locations. Notice how quickly he's able to heal up his army. And just look at the differences in supply. He's just exploding right now with all that extra mineral income. And he's got the Ghost Academy coming up as well. That's what he really needs right now. Warp Prism not getting anything done.
Another Warp Prism going down for herO. Drops starting to do less and less damage here. Kira able to defend very well so far. And Kira has the map control right now. herO's trying to get that third base up. He's trying to take the Colossi.
There's also Vikings on the way. And, you know, he's going to already be prepared for the Colossus switch. Even adds a second starport right now, as you guys can see on the production tab. And his worker supply is getting so high, it's almost like he has too many SCVs. He's going to get some Templar here for free. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and he can get the Robo Bay as well. Or even the next if he decides to go for it.
Oh my god, he's going for it. The Protoss army is way too far away. He gets the Nexus. And he's not done there, Brendan. He's going to go right for the main base. He's killing so many Zealots, so many probes here. And herO just doesn't have an army that's big enough. He's falling apart. Where are the Storms? One is down, but it's not enough.
It's not enough. There's so many medevacs here as well to heal, and he's just kiting all the way through the base, able to take out the Nexus, and he's going to get out.
Wow, really nicely done, man. That, I think, is the nail in the coffin to win this game. I mean, he's up 70 supply. The Protoss player does have really efficient units, right? He's got Storm, he's got the AoE there. But now Ghosts are out. Storms can do almost infinity good things for you against the Terran Bioforce, but once the Ghosts are there, and once the Terran's Bio army is twice as big as your Protoss army, he's just going to eventually run through the Storms and kill you.
Cure's impressing me, man. He came back from not the greatest build at the start, and he's playing really well against a really good Protoss right now.
Now, this is Storm drops here in the Warp Prism, but like I said, he's just got so much Bio, he can almost just ride them out.
Yeah, he's riding them out. He's killing the High Templar as well. He has a lot of medevacs here as well. Dropping in the main here. He's going to push onto this third base. You said it before, the supply now moving up to 100 in the difference. He's trying to basically desperately get one Colossi out.
Yeah, I mean, there are already a few Vikings starting to add in. With this many Mirage, the Colossus is not going to be a game changer, not by itself. He needs a few of those. He needs more time. And here we go. Look at how low he is in workers even right now. But he's at 35 probes. He barely has any mining. His army is again out of position. Where are the EMPs? Looks like he's going for snipes instead. But just look at how big this Terran army is. There's no way herO holds here. We're going to see our second upset today. But unfortunately for CJ Entus, this time it's not in their favor.
Yes, herO is finally going to go down to this Protoss player. Another Nexus is going to be sniped down.
Yep. Pure, man, he's making a bit of a splash here this round, and goodbye all these probes. There's that Colossus that's so sad. Goodbye Templar as well, and herO has lost it yet again for his team, losing his third Protoss versus Terran this season, and that is game. Nothing else to say, ladies and gentlemen. GG, Cure takes it, and so will